Hello friends, in the last video we have solved 5 problems. So in this video we will start with problem number 6 and we will continue up to next 5 problems. So problem number 6 is appearing on your screen. So what it says, you have to find voltage across terminals A and B. So A and B terminals they have already defined, across which you have to find the voltage, for which they have given you total 4 options, which is 0.5 volt, 3 volt, 3.5 volt and 4 volt. Let us see how to approach this problem. If you observe the circuit, can I say voltage across A and B terminal can be considered as node voltage VA. So let us consider this voltage itself as VA. So I can consider this node as a reference node. So if this is considered as ground, then this whole line is considered as a ground line. We can have KCL approach to solve this. So wherever you have a node through which you have to assume some current directions. If there is a current source, you cannot change the direction. If the current source is not given, you take that respective branch current as an outgoing current. The reason why we go for outgoing current, because according to our conventions, we consider outgoing currents as positive and incoming currents as negative. So let us assume this current as outgoing. Let us assume this current as outgoing, but compulsory in the third branch we have to assume as incoming current as 3 ampere current source is already given. Let us apply KCL in this problem. So for the first branch, the current starts with A and ends at this, let's say, ground terminal. So how do we apply KCL? By calculating the current. So we start with VA, then for this we go from positive to negative, which can be considered as minus V. So I can rewrite this current as VA minus V divided by 2 plus, even this current can be taken as positive because this current appears to be outgoing current. So I can say VA minus ground, which is 0 volt. So VA minus 0 divided by total resistance in the path, which is 2. So I can say it is VA by 2. Then in the next branch, as you can see, the current is already given, which is 3 ampere. Since it is incoming, I shall consider this current as a negative current. So minus 3 equal to 0. So I can transfer that minus 3 over there, becomes plus 3. Since the denominators are same, I can directly add these numerators. So it becomes 2VA minus V whole divided by 2, which is equal to 3. In this problem, this voltage source is given as 1 volt. So I can replace this V as 1. So 2VA minus 1 becomes equal to 6. So it is 2VA equal to 7. So now if you solve this, you will get VA equal to 7 by 2, which is nothing but 3.5 volt. Please understand, VA node voltage means that it is voltage across A and B. So in this case, 3.5 volt is the answer. So option C is the correct option. Let us go to the next problem. So let us start with problem number 7. So in problem 7, in this circuit, they are asking you V of t. If you observe this circuit, V of t is voltage across an inductor. There are two current sources given with magnitude. The first current source says it is e raised to at and the second current source says it is e to the power bt. So even by KCL approach, we can solve this problem. We will see how to deal with this. So consider this point as a node. E raised to at is an incoming current. E raised to bt is an incoming current. Since the current direction in the third branch is not given, always assume as outgoing current. Let us assume this current is IL, which is nothing but current through inductor. So when we apply KCL at this node, we can see the first current source is giving you incoming current. The second current source gives you incoming current, which is also negative, and this is IL, which can be considered as outgoing current, should be positive. So by applying KCL, we get minus e raised to 80 minus e raised to bt plus IL equal to 0, or I can say IL equal to e raised to 80 plus e raised to bt. So IL equal to e raised to 80 plus e raised to bt. But from this expression, we see that we cannot get V of t. What is V of t? V of t is voltage across inductor. So I shall express the current through inductor in terms of V of t, which is nothing but voltage across inductor. So we should know that for a inductor, suppose if I take current as I and voltage across this inductor is, let's say, VL, I can say that VL is equal to L into di by dt. But if you have to calculate current through the inductor, what I need to do is I need to integrate on both the sides. So what do I get? As this becomes L into I, this becomes VL dt. So I can say that I is equal to 1 by L integration V dt. So whenever you want current through inductor, this is the standard expression. Current through inductor is always 1 by L, where L is inductor in Henry, integrating VL dt, where VL is voltage across inductor. So going back to the previous slide. So now I can replace this IL with 1 by L integration voltage across inductor, in this case is V of t. So I would write V of t dt, which is equal to e raised to 80 plus e raised to bt. Now the value of L is already given, which is nothing but 1 Henry. So I can transfer this L to the right hand side. So what do I get is integration V of t is equal to e raised to 80 plus e raised to bt itself. Now since we want V of t and not integration of V of t, if I have to calculate V of t, then we need to take derivative on both the sides, so that derivative and integration on the left hand side will cancel each other. So what do I get? A new expression of for V of t as V of t is equal to derivative of the right hand side, which is e raised to 80 plus e raised to bt. So after taking derivative, we will get V of t as e raised to 80 as integration is e raised to 80 into a constant term a, plus the derivative of e raised to bt is e raised to bt into constant term, which is b. So if you refer these options, it is matching with option number D, which says a times e raised to 80 plus b times e raised to bt. So option number D is the correct option, which they were asking you the voltage V of t, which was across inductor. So we can now go to the next problem. So next problem, which is problem number 8, is appeared on the screen. They ask you, in this figure you have to find voltage E, which is nothing but voltage source E. Now as you can see, this circuit, even though appears to be a complex, as I said earlier, by simple tricks, gate problems can be solved very easily. Let us see. As you can see, this is 0 volt. We know that 0 volt, we take this as a ground or a reference node. As you can see, this is given as 10 volt. So if it is given as a 10 volt, you should understand that if it is a 10 volt, then it should be a battery of 10 volt, and every battery has got two terminals, which is positive and negative. In case only 10 volt is given, it means that there is a battery having two terminals, positive and negative, and a positive terminal is connected to this point, and that's the reason why it is plus 10. So I'll redraw this circuit as this is positive, negative 10 volt, and then negative terminal shall be connected to a reference node, which is nothing but ground in this case. So as you can see, this ground and this ground cannot be separate for a same circuit. So I can in fact say this is also grounded, this is also grounded, and I can consider this point as a same point. As you can see now, it has resulted into a closed loop. So by simply applying KVL in this closed loop, you can get the value of E very easily. So let us apply KVL in clockwise direction. I'm starting with this E point. So when you go from negative to positive in clockwise direction, you should get plus E. Then negative to positive, you should get plus 1. Then by roaming clockwise, you get negative to positive as positive 10. And then from negative to positive, you should get plus 5. And this whole equal to 0. So when you solve this, you get the value of E equal to minus 16 volt. Now just observe the given options. Option number A says it is minus 16 volt. Option number D says it is plus 16 volt. So even if you make a small mistake, this minus 16 volt can turn out to be a positive 16 and you may get option number D, which is wrong option. So the correct option is minus 16 volt. That is option number A. Let us go to the next problem. So let us start with problem number 9. Problem number 9 is appeared on your screen. They are asking you voltage E0 in this figure. So if you observe, E0 is nothing but voltage across 4. So voltage across 4 can be considered as a node voltage itself. So I can represent this E0 as a node voltage here. And I can consider this point as a reference point, that is a ground point. So I can say this whole line is a ground line, this whole line as a ground line. And by simply applying KCL, you can get the value of E0. As I said earlier, that while assuming the directions, preferably take all current directions as outgoing because we consider outgoing currents as positive. Even though it's not a rule, but only for the simplicity of the problem, you should consider outgoing currents. So I'll take this current as outgoing, I'll take this current as outgoing, I'll take third branch current as outgoing. Now by applying KCL, which says summation of all the currents equal to 0. In this case, all of them as outgoing. So I will say I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal to 0. So I1 current means in a branch 1 current, as you can see, it started with E0, then going up to minus 12 volt. So E0 minus 12 divided by 4 will be first current. In second branch, as you can see, it is E0 minus 0 divided by 4. So it is E0 by 4 plus E0 minus 0 divided by addition of these two resistances, which is 2 plus 2 becomes 4. So again it becomes E0 by 4 equal to 0. All the denominators appear to be same, so I can add all the numerators directly. So what do I get is 3 times E0 minus 12 whole divided by 4 equal to 0, or I can say 3E0 equal to 12. So E0 becomes 4 volt. If you refer the options, option number C says it is 4 volt. So option number C is the correct option. Let us go to the next problem. Let us start with problem number 10. They say that the dependent current source as shown in the figure delivers 80 watt, absorbs 80 watt, delivers 40 watt or absorbs 80 watts. To understand this problem, I want all of you to first of all understand the basic behind this. So let us understand the concept behind this problem and then we will get back to the same problem. Suppose you have to calculate power with respect to source. It is always P is equal to V into I, where V is nothing but supply voltage and I is nothing but supply current. This formula needs to be referred only when you have to calculate power given by the source. So whenever you have to calculate power given by the source, it is always P is equal to V into I. If this power comes out to be positive, then we say that it is actually delivering the power. So we will say that supply is delivering the power. Whereas if this power comes out to be negative, then we should understand that it is not delivering the power, rather it is absorbing the power. So looking at the magnitude of the power, if it comes out to be positive, it is always delivering. If it comes out to be negative, it is absorbing the power. We will understand how power becomes negative with respect to sources. Consider some voltage source plus minus V, which is, let's say, delivering the current I. In this case, I can say that P is equal to Vs times Is. In this case, as you can see, the current is coming out of the positive terminal, which is in a way a correct current direction. So in this case, I will say that Vs and Is, both of them are positive, and therefore product of two positive numbers will come as positive. In a way, this P comes out to be positive, so I can claim that for this source it is delivering the power. So in this case, it is delivering the power. Whereas we will see the second case. As you can see, I have taken the same polarity Vs, but this time let me assume the direction of current in a downward direction. According to the convention, battery should always give the current from the positive terminal. But in this case, as you can see, the current is going inside the positive terminal. In this case, the respective current should be taken as a negative. And whenever we say P is equal to Vs times Is, this Is turns out to be negative because of the wrong convention. And therefore, this P comes out to be negative. So in this case, we can say that it is not delivering the power, rather it is absorbing the power. So in this case, it is absorbing the power. The way in which we have understood in terms of voltage sources, let us understand them in terms of current sources also. Assume current source like this. Let's say upward direction Is. Every current source has some voltage across it. Let's say plus minus Vs. In this case also, power is a product of Vs times Is. So power is equal to Vs times Is. If you see voltage and current, as you can see, current is coming out of the positive terminal, which is in a way correct direction of the current, can be considered as a positive current, and therefore product of both comes out to be positive. So in this case, the given current source delivers the power. Whereas if we refer this as a current source, let's say upward direction Is, but a voltage across it appeared to be minus plus. So as you can see, rather than current which out of the positive terminal, now it is coming out of the negative terminal, which can be considered as a negative current, which will result power as a negative power. So in a way, I can claim that this circuit or this current source is not delivering the power, rather it is absorbing the power. So to make a short, you have to always see a current. You have to make sure that current comes out of the positive terminal. Now we will go back to the problem. So in this problem, they are asking you about this dependent source, whether it delivers or it absorbs the power. In case if it is delivering, how much is the power? In case it is absorbing, how much is the power? So we have to calculate power also. At the same time, we have to also guess whether it is absorbing or whether it is delivering. We will see. So this is a dependent source which depends upon a value V1. But if you refer the circuit, the V1 value is already given, which is nothing but 20 volt. Rather, I can now say it is 20 by 5, which is nothing but 4 ampere. So I can replace the magnitude of this current source as 4 ampere. So this current is nothing but 4 ampere. Now we'll try to figure it out. What is a voltage across this? Because even though the current source is having magnitude as 4 ampere, voltage across it should be also known. So try to get voltage across this, which is nothing but plus minus, let's say Vx. We know the fact that voltage across parallel circuit is same. So if I claim this is Vx, then voltage across 5 is also plus minus Vx. Rather, I can consider this node as Vx itself. So now by KCL concept, I can consider the first branch current, let's say outgoing, the second branch current, let's say outgoing, and the third, because the current source is given, I cannot change the direction, so I should consider that current as a incoming current. Let us apply KCL. So the first branch current, which says Vx minus 20 divided by total resistance in the path, is 5. So it is Vx minus 20 divided by 5. plus the second branch current, as you can see in this branch, which is Vx minus 0 divided by 5. And in the third branch, as you can see, the current is incoming, which is nothing but 4 ampere. I should take this as minus 4 equal to 0. Again, denominators are same. I can say 2Vx minus 20 by 5 should be equal to plus 4. Or I can say 2Vx minus 20 equal to 20, which comes out to be 2Vx equal to 40. So Vx comes out to be 20. So as you can see, the Vx value that we have got is a positive value. Whenever you get voltage as positive, it means the assumed polarity is correct. If the assumed polarity is correct, it means the correct polarity is this, which is nothing but 20 volt. So now, if I again redraw this, you will actually see like this. So once you have Vx value, as you can see, the Vx value is positive 20. So whenever you get voltage or current as, let's say, positive, it means the assumed direction for current as well as assumed polarity for voltage is correct. It means this Vx, which we have considered as plus minus across this, according to this polarity, we know that this current is coming out of the positive terminal. It means it is delivering the power. So in a way, we haven't determined what is the power, but at least we know that it is delivering the power for sure. Let us calculate then a power. So power is given by P is equal to Vs times Is, where Vs is nothing but supply voltage, Is is nothing but supply current. In this case, supply voltage is 20 volt. And how much the current it is supplying, which is nothing but this current. So this current, what we have is 4, which is nothing but 80 watt. So as you can see, the option number A and option number D, both of them are claiming that it is 80 watt, but one of them says it is delivering 80, one of them is saying it is absorbing the 80. So what is the correct answer? We have already determined that it is delivering the power. Therefore, option number A is the correct option. I'm sure you have understood all those 5 problems. Thank you so much for watching the video. Stay tuned to Ekeeda. Subscribe to Ekeeda.